This video is sponsored by Wing Technology, your ultimate flight sim hardware solution.
Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing absolutely fantastic. I know I am because I'm very excited. Our new campaign has started, the 6-day war. We are simulating the real 6-day war. It's going to be a mission over 6 missions over 6 weeks. It's going to be a little bit different to normal. We're running Milsim. We've tried Milsim once before in our 5-year history. It was the end of last year, I think. It didn't go so well. We just weren't prepared for it. We're trying it again with something a bit different. The main thing that is Milsim about this is the navigation. So if you guys watch GR, you will know that navigation just isn't that important to us. We like fighting, we like missiles, carrier traps and stuff like that. We're just not that interested in navigation. Well, that's all about to change. So what we'd usually do in a normal mission is press the F10 button and we'll see a lovely magic cheating wizard map where we can see where we are, where everyone else is that's on our side, and basically cheat. F10 map's now gone for this campaign, not there. No part of map. Next level we would rely on as a GPS. If we were on an A10 or an F18 or an F16, we would rely on a GPS EGI integration. Makes things very, very easy for us. Gone, taking it out. Next level we would rely on usually is INS, inertial navigation system, laser gyros and whatnot, and associated waypoints. Gone in our version that we're running. Because no INS, it means there's no CCIP. It means there's no CCRP. So none of this fancy symbology weaponeering. It's manual depression drops only. Next level of navigation would be radio based. Things like TACAN, Tactical Air Navigation, RSBN, ILS, VOR, DME, or even scattered NDBs. But nothing in here. Radio navigation never existed as far as we're concerned. What does that leave us with? It leaves us with physical paper maps. It leaves the trusty E2B magnetic compass with or without a directional gyro, a little more reliable in terms of usability. And we're going to couple that to our E2Bs. We have methods of recording speed, obviously. Our normal speedos will be allowed through the pedo tubes. We have stopwatches. We are allowed stopwatches. And the last and most important, the human Mark 1 eyeball. So with these things, map, an E2B, a DG, a stopwatch, and Mark 1 eyeball, what can we do? We can do visual wind-corrected dead reckoning. That's what we're going to be doing. Okay, that's how we're going to navigate. And navigation is, in this campaign, like a real mission with real pilots, as we've found out now because we have real pilots flying for us, just as important, just as much as a challenge as fighting the MiGs and the bad guys and the SAMs. More preparation is going to go into it. That's what we're doing. The whole campaign is based around this interesting navigation, method of navigation. There's 6 missions. We're going to start off relatively easy because this is a first time for almost everyone in this server right now. Only a few guys have actually done this before. And then it's going to get harder as we go on. Like I was saying, when we tried this before, we just weren't ready for it and it fell to pieces. We now are, hopefully. It's 2020, the end of, and Grim Reapers have grown significantly, and we now have some really good experience. We have, for instance, in this room at the moment, an ex-RAF Tornado pilot. Say hello, Ali.
Hello.
Invited, and not sure if he's turned up yet, but we will be having the phenomenon, hopefully, that is Tim Davis. Is Tim in?
Yeah, only just, John, to be honest. You've hidden this channel well.
Thank you very much. Welcome to the Grim Reapers. I can't find my own channels, but it's lovely to hear your voice, and thank you for turning up just in time. Tim's here. I don't need to explain who he is. Obviously, you guys, if you watch my channel, you almost certainly watch his. And hopefully, an ex-RAF Buccaneer and Tornado Navigator, which is going to be very useful. Is Simon here?
Negative.
Hopefully, he's very busy at the moment. Hopefully, obviously, his patch day is coming up and whatnot. Hopefully, he'll turn up later. So we've got real guys to guide us and lead us, as well as other guys helping through the campaign. Artie, Bendy, Atomic as well. Okay, guys, that's my spiel done for the campaign. You won't hear another word out of me. Atomic, send.
Good morning, everyone. It's the 5th of June, 1967. The time is currently 0600 and the mission starts at 7000. The UN emergency force in the Sinai has been withdrawn at the behest of the Egyptian government, and during that time of the withdrawal, Arab troops have been massing on Israeli borders from in the Sinai Peninsula from Egypt along the Jordanian border and the Syrian border. Israeli command believe that the Arabs mean to overwhelm and destroy Israel, and the best course of action is a preemptive strike on the Arab states bordering Israel. The first objective is to destroy the Arab air forces on the ground and reduce their capability to fight an air war by damaging their airfields and taking out their air force. Our sortie this morning is tasked with castrating the Egyptian Air Force on the ground. We'll be using the Persian Gulf map due to its desertiness. Our squadron will be hitting 3 airfields in the Persian Gulf, Ras Al Khaimah, Al Minad, and Al Dafra. Those are on slide 2. Moving on to slide 3, the threats in the region are SA2 guidelines. Egypt has the most powerful surface-to-air defense network in the region, and it is comprised primarily of the surface-to-air SA2 missiles. Low-level flying will help mask our ingress and egress, and the low-level attack will therefore put us in range of AAA fire. The known AAA is 40mm Bofors, and it's all around the airfields. Of course, the other threat is going to be the Egyptian Air Force itself, but due to the timing of our mission, they should still be all on the ground after their morning patrols, and their response time is going to be between 5 or 10 minutes, and ingress should stop them scrambling until we're within sight of the airfields themselves. The weather this morning is perfect conditions. There's no clouds, unlimited visibility, a very light wind of 2 to 3 knots in the northeasterly direction, temperature of 20 degrees. QNH is 29.92 inches of mercury, and contrails between flight level 25 and flight level 32. But we won't be flying that high, so I won't worry about that. The execution on slide 5, we're going to be using low-level laydown, which is basically straight and level bombing, and dive bombing, single pass time on target runs against the runways and aircraft. The flights are split up into 4 ships, and they will be split again into pairs, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and you'll be attacking one pair after the other on the airfields. And there is a non-engagement of red air targets unless they jump you on your 6. I'll now hand you over to Bendy.
Hello. So, with an overview of the different flights that we've got operating today, Alpha and Bravo flights, you are in the C-101, and you're taking off from Havadera and hitting Ras Al Khaimah target. Also, accompanying you behind you will be Charlie flight in the F-5s, again hitting the same target. You will have a kneeboard pack with you, which will explain your parking stand location on the airport, which you can use to help taxi. F5 pilots and Mirage pilots, be aware that you have 2 sets of kneeboards with you, as you could potentially be hitting either target. So we'll go through right now which kneeboard pack you should be using, so please make a note. So Charlie flight, you will be needing to have kneeboard pack RAS 360. You will see this on your maps in your kneeboard pack. The F5 pilots in Echo, Foxtrot and Golf will be using ALM 360, and the Mirage pilots will be using ALD 420.
Okay, so this is the GCI. So in this mission, I'll be taking the role of a mission commander more than a GCI, since we won't have any. Well, at least we won't have a lot of enemy air in the area. So at the start of the mission, I'll be setting a master time on target, which is the time all the flights are going to strike their objectives at the exact same moment. Well, at least the first wave. Once it's set, each flight will be advised about their takeoff time, hag time, and their takeoff runway. Once it's done, I'll be giving green lights for flights to taxi and line up on their specific runway. You will not be able to taxi anywhere without having permission to, so we don't have any collisions on the runway or people overlapping each other. Once you are on the runway, I'll be advising each flight 10 seconds before their takeoff time, so they don't miss it. It's also important to know that note that each flight has their own frequency, interflight frequency. Sorry, and the only way to communicate with other flights is through the GCI frequency, and technically there is no reason to. If you guys are late to the mission, whether it's a server joining issue or a connection issue, whatever you have, I will not grant you permission to take off, because it's a precision mission. It requires a lot of perfect timing. If you will take off, if allow you to take off too late, it's just gonna cause chaos and turn the mission upside down. And flight leads, if you have any late members, or you have the option to take off or stay without them, stay on the ground with the rest of your flight. Can you switch? Well, you can go on slide 8 now. So the GCI frequency will be 242, God frequency is 243, call sign is Le Bleu. Once you guys take off, you'll be on your own. You'll have to follow your navigator, which is your flight lead. If you get lost, I will not be able to vector you back to your flight lead, since I won't be able to pick you on radar. So try to stick as much as possible with your flight lead. I will also be keeping an eye on the airspace for any hostile activity, and when it will advise of any danger in case I see any enemy air.
Thank you, LeBleu. Ali?
Me now, yeah. Thank you for everybody for coming. Okay, on the actual departure, we've just done a basic slide because the route takes you from your start point, which is, there's 2 start points on Hormuz Island, and for Havadera, there's another island to the south as well, which is a start point. And you can see that you'll be using runway 08 at Havadera, and it's 21 left and 21 right at Bandar Abbas. Okay. Okay, on to the RAS target details. Just firstly, MB, because we're iron sight bombing, we need to know our altitude above the target. Our release height is going to be 200 feet above the target barrow if you haven't got a rad alt in your aircraft. So that's 280 barrow at RAS for the F5s. The C101s do have a rad alt, but if you don't put it on, you need 280 barrow. Okay, the actual target at Ras Al Khaimah, it's a fairly simple, old-fashioned airfield, single runway. The pan is basically in the center, which you'll see shortly. The weapon loads for this particular target, the C-101s are going to lay down belugas, 2 belugas. The F-5s will be the first pair will be using retard snake eyes, and the second pair, or the second 2 of the 4, will be diving with their snake eyes. Obviously, don't forget the switchery is different as a result. The switchery for the C101, Artie will go through with everybody in the C101 to make sure everybody's got everything selected. In the F5, just make sure you need those switches. This is for everybody flying in F5. We want nose and tail for dive, for level, sorry. Ripple, interval 0.14. Gun sight, 3 clicks in manual, and then 130 knots depression. And it's going to be 420 knots, 200 feet, which is 280 barrow. For the next slide, we're coming now up to slide 13. For the dive profile, the weaponeering, it's obviously the bomb arm is well, I should just know, sorry, it's ripple, interval's the same, the gun sight's 125, not 130. 130 is lay down, 125 dive. It's 400 knots in the dive, 2,100 feet is the actual release point. I'll go through the dive profile shortly, and you do have the dive profile in the actual in the knee board. So this is basically it. This is, well, it's not produced by me, but it is produced by an American bombing chap. It does work. I've tried it myself. Basically, you run in towards from your IP to what I'm calling your pull-up point. It isn't actually your pull-up point. So there's a marker, a mast, which is 4 miles away. At that mast, you need to do something. And for everybody, it's going to be a left turn, 15 to 20 degrees. Full power, burners on. So as you roll out of the 15, 20 degree turn, you want to pause, 2, 3, pitch up. By now, you should be at 3 miles range to the target. Pitch up 30 degrees. Concentrate on keeping your wings level. Nice steady pitch angle. And as the altimeter goes through 5,000 barrow, you need to roll to the right, about 135 degrees, look for the target. As you come over the top, throttles back to mid-power, and as you go down the hill towards the target, you're looking for a nice pull the pipper up to the target for a 2,100-foot release point. Now, for this particular thing, you've got it on your knee pad, so before you get airborne, you can have a study of it and have a look. Just remember, because we're all dropping a large stick of bombs, it's not a quick push on the pickle button. You need to push and hold, because it takes quite a while for all the weapons to actually come off. Okay, so that's the actual dive. That covers all 3 targets for the dive. So there's the basic airfield layout. You see that hard standing and their parking is very much in the centre of the airfield. But primarily, the belugas are going to be used to cut the runway, and the later on guys, they can go with diving. They can choose if they want to hit hard standing or they want to hit the runway. But flight leads talk about that on their way. So on the runway, we got some pretty good intel pictures. That's your IP. It's a fairly unusual approach, this, in that it's about a 60-degree right turn from the IP and downhill into a valley. So it's quite a big 120-degree roll and pull down in the valley, and the valley points you towards the target. It's really quite fun. If you look on the chart, you'll see that. But it does work. Okay, so these, I said that they're called pull-up points, but that's not where you pull up. You're pulling up a mile after them. So that's where you start your turn. So both aircraft turn left 15 degrees at those points and start your dive profile. For the guys doing laydown, you just fly the number 1 to the right, the number 2 just to the left of that. And if you keep your heading, you will hit the right intersection on the runway that you're targeted to. Okay, next target, Al Minhad. So this is basically all F5s. And I'll be leading this particular target. Altitude a bit higher here, 170 at one end, 190 at the other end. Let's just call it 180 feet. So let's go barrow altitude 380. There's remember, no rad alt in the F5. Okay, it's a single runway. It's fairly long. There's lots of intersecting taxiways on this runway. So our priority targets really are the intersections of the runway and the taxiways. Basically, we're just trying to stop aircraft getting onto the runway and making sure they don't have a minimum operating strip, so they can, if there's any aircraft left, they can move them to their other airfields. There won't be any Mirages flying today to Al Minhad, but we've got 3 flights, so 12 F5s, and our loadout, we've got 5 Snake Eyes on the centerline pylon, 2 fuel tanks, a couple of lemurs, I think the Papas on the wings. Okay, I've pretty much gone through the dive profiles for the F5, so I'm not going to go through them again. Again, we've got this slide in our pack for Al Minhad 360. That's what you're looking for in your knee boards. Okay. Again, no, that's for the Mirage. We're not going to cover that. So look at the airfield. We're coming from the top right, where the approach is. So the leader's going to be taking the westerly end of the airfield. The number 2 is going to be taking the easterly end of the runway. And you see those major intersections of the taxiway and the runway. That's the priority targets. Obviously, for the second and third flights, you should see battle damage, if there is any, on your approach. And obviously, if you do, try and move to a slightly different point. And with guys diving, I'm quite happy for you to, if it looks like the runway has been well cut and there's lots of damage and smoke on it, drop on the hard standings. So the 3 will drop on the hard standings to the west, and the number 4 will drop on the hard standings to the east. Again, good intel photographs. We've managed to pretty well plan this route using a fair few masts of various types and everything to try and get a bit of vertical extent to make life easy. So if you are at low level, you can see them from a fair distance. This is the initial point, pretty deserty before we get there, but you can see that from about 20 miles if you look closely. Again, not pull-up points. That's the points where you start your turn of your prior to your pull-up in the dive. Okay, for the Mirage guys, they're all going to Al Dhafra. You've got a fair way further to go, and all your routes at 420 knots. Sorry, I should have said that the F5s are doing their route at 360, their target run at 420 knots. It's 420 is just a bit much with the weapons loads we've got on the F5. Obviously, the Mirage has no problem with speed-wise, so you're doing 420 the whole way. You've got 8 belugas, 2 magic missiles as self-defense. Right, so settings on the Mirage. So basically, for the guys level bombing, make sure you've got your master arm on. You want to hit the button just below where it says BL6. You want to then go to the right-hand side, hit the fuse to instantaneous, which is the switch all the way up. You then want to hit the button just to the right, 8 clicks to get number 8 showing for the quantity. And then just below that, hit it for the level guys, another 8 for the spacing for level, and it's going to be the 10 as the spacing for dive. You've then got to go up to the head-up display, and a lot of guys will have not seen this on Iron Sight because we're not using CCIP. There's a little A on the hood on the right hand side. You've got to flick that switch up to put the auxiliary gun sight on. Then you've got below where it says house, there's a little thumb wheel. Twiddle a thumb wheel, you'll see the sight slowly coming down the hood till you get to 155 mils for the guys who are level, and it'll be 140 mils for the guys who are diving. Again, Bendy and Kingston will go through with all the Mirage guys on the ground before you depart. So on Al Dhafra, it is a pretty big airfield, so we're just simulating the northern part of the airfield to attack. We don't really have the 100 aircraft you need. Again, approaching from the top right, which is from the northeast. The number one again is looking for the intersections towards the northwesterly end of the runway, and the number two intersections hard standing the south east. There are some pretty, there's quite a few assets on this hard standing, we believe. So the guys diving, you know, in the dive, have a look, see what looks good. Obviously, the number three wants to go to the ones more to the northwest, hard standing, and the number four, the ones to the southwest. But again, that's for flight leads to talk and brief in your team who wants to do what on that. Again, fairly familiar looking initial points, which you can see from a pretty long distance away. Pull-up points, well, as I said, that's the points where you start your dive profile, or if you're flying level, that is just an intermediate straight line waypoint from IP to that point to your target. Okay, there's a little bit of chat about timing and how we're going to achieve the timing. Luckily, there's very little wind, so max drift is quite low, probably less than 1 degree for most aircraft. However, I see the biggest corrections you're going to have to do is to make sure we get on time. So the other thing I put in here is, as Bendy reiterated, you will see two routes on your knee boards. Look in the top left corner and make sure it says the route that you're doing. So the premise of or the method of operation in this particular planning exercise is that you must hack your watch or stopwatch at the brief time, even if you're not at your start point. Ideally, you should be flying over your start point in a battle formation at 420 knots or 360 knots or whatever speed, at a sensible height, and you start your stopwatch. And the stopwatch and the minute marks will read the same. Doesn't always happen. It should be pretty close if you roll at your briefed roll time. So obviously, our biggest thing is we're going to have to do something to make sure we're on time. We'll talk about that in a second. It says here the suggested taxi roll times, there's very little flex. So I want people to make sure that when you're leading, you taxi out to the runway early. And if there's like, for example, with my F5 guys, I'll make sure that all the flights taxi in the correct order and we're sitting waiting at or close to the threshold so we can get the time right. We've got there's no problems confliction-wise with anybody for the departure, and our mission controller will ensure there are no other problems. When we do get airborne, just to give guys a bit of a chance, could flight leads just extend on runway heading until the number 4 calls early? Because pretty much everybody's got a 90-degree turn shortly after takeoff. That turn will give everybody a good chance to catch up if you cut the corner and use geometry, not speed. Obviously, in the 101, you can't use speed, so you don't have any. You've got to use geometry. Approaching the start point, well, you can read through that, and it's big boy stuff by now. You should be able to see how far it is and work out how to get there roughly on the right time. We're flying low level, but the whole idea of the route is to fly a comfortable defensive formation, so you can look out, look for bandits, look at your map, be tactical, not just staring at a map all the time. Obviously, we're trying to avoid detection by ground radars, which is the reason for low height. But over the sea, you've got to be pretty low. But once you're in the hills, all you need to do is terrain mask. So you don't have to fly right in the bottom of the valleys. You've just got to make sure that you're just down from the top, so that the ground radar doesn't get you. I can't see you, I should say. Okay, I think that's it. To reiterate. I suggest everybody selects all their weapon selections on the ground, and I think most of the flight leads will try and go through the selections on the ground with everybody to make sure there's no switch pigs. Okay, on the target runs, basically hopefully by the time you get close to the IP, everybody will realise that one of the most important things to do is fly an accurate heading and trust the clock. And again, on the IP to target run, we don't have a 50,000 map. We're just using features visual that are easy to find. And we're going to try and make sure we're pretty much on time at the IP, so we don't have to worry about timing. However, it is important when you come to the weapon release point to be at the right height. Which, so for lay down, I've been through that. Everybody should have made a note of that. The leaders, hopefully, on the route will just remind people on the way from the IP. But to get spacing and timing, so there's no confliction over the actual target area, the 1 and 2s will be dropping their weapons at roughly the same time, but at opposite ends of the airfield. The 3 and 4, which generally will be diving apart from in the C101s, you're going to get your separation, one, from the fact that the dive profile takes 12 to 15 seconds longer to actually do, and B, as you're approaching the IP, please just drop back a mile and a half. That'll give you another 10 seconds, so you should have plenty of deconfliction from your lead. Okay, as I said, please, flight leads, chat about what to do, especially for the second and third flights. If it looks good in the dive and you see the runways are taken out, you need to do a quick damage assessment and try and then think, okay, let's go for aircraft parked on the airfield. After the target rejoin, often it can be a bit of a difficult area. But again, a couple of minutes after the target, when the coasting out, there's another big turn. And if the flight lead's coasting out, turning north or whatever, it gives everybody a bit of a chance. If you're a minute away from the turn or you can't see it, you just turn roughly onto the heading. You should be drift left, and you should catch them up. Because obviously, when people leave the throttles and they're doing 450, 500 knots, it's very difficult to catch up using speed. And we want to try and get everybody together for the in a defensive formation for the run home. Okay, we've talked about wind strength. So the max drift and the actual correction for ground speed, for wind, is pretty low, so we're not getting too excited about that. However, time early late will be the big issue. So just as a quick heads up on how to do something about it, if you get to your waypoint, turning point, and you're 10 seconds early, you fly 10 seconds slower.
Knots.
10 knots slower for your next leg, and that's done time-wise for this ground speed in nautical miles per minute. So if you're doing 420 knots, that's for 7 minutes. If you're doing 360, that's 6 minutes. And for the guys in the C101, that's 4 or 5 minutes, depending on where you are. Obviously, you can use any combination of that. So if you really are slow, or you haven't got long before your IP, you need to get it sorted, well, you can do 30 knots for 2.5 or 2 minutes or whatever to try and get the time sorted out. Okay, so that's the basic premise of working it out. It's the 1 in 60 rule. It's not rocket science, and hopefully everybody will get on time. Secret is to stay on time. The secret is to fly the accurate heading, trust your clock. Make sure your clock is hacked at the right time. Okay, that's me done. Back to the Tommy.
Before I hand over to the questions, just a quick reminder, because this is our first one. Guys, 30-second reminder. Things to write down in your notepads. If you're not a real pilot and you're not a lead, the leads already know what they're doing. Ensure you study your attack profiles. Please, it'll be in your knee pad. Get your freaks set because they're different to normal. You've got flight, intra, you've got inter-flight, you've got GCI, and you've got guard. Make sure you've got your drop height sorted, guys. Make sure you've got your weapon armament buttons all set, and it should be in your knee pads. This is the start of the mission, but the SAMs are real. If you go above the deck, you're dead. The bandits are real, so that's the thing. Remember, make sure you've got the correct knee pad pack. It will say at the top left of the knee pad. Otherwise, you'll be following the wrong guys.
Listener to all units, master time on target is set to 0755.00. Stand by for your takeoff and hack time.
I got 075500.
Alpha flight Blue. Alpha flight ready.
That's target hit time, Cap.
Alpha flight, your takeoff time is 0728.50. Your hack time is 0735.50.
Alpha Flight, roll time 0728.50, tack time 073550. Correct, runway 08. Runway 08.
I mean, you're taxi now, RT. We've got our TOT.
India Flight, Debrief. Debrief permission, Alpha Flight permission to taxi. The first flight off. Alpha Flight, you are the last flight to take off, so stand by at the moment. We have India Flight to take off, they will take off then. Yeah, sorry, we're the first flight off from our base, Havan Round, yeah. Yeah, I know. India Flight, Blue.
India 11, go for it.
India Flight, your takeoff time is 0718.55. Hack time at 0721.55.
India 11, takeoff time 071855, hack time 072155.
India Flight, your takeoff runway is 21 right.
21 right for India, thank you.
India Flight, you are clear to taxi and line up on the runway.
Thank you, sir. Rolling now.
Juliet Flight, Blue.
Juliet Flight, go ahead.
Juliet Flight, your takeoff time is 0719.55. Your hack time is 0722.55.
Juliet Flight, copy. Roll time 071955. Hack time 072255.
India Flight, Juliet Flight, your takeoff runway is 21 left. You are clear to taxi and line up on the runway.
Juliet Flight, taxiing to runway 21 Lima.
Juliet Flight, Blue. Juliet Flight, Blue, your takeoff time is 0720.55. Your hack time is 0723.55.
Okay, go ahead, Echo Flight, lifting up.
Echo Flight, Blue, your takeoff time is 0726.35. Your hack time is 0729.05.
Roll time 072635, hack time 072905.
Echo Flight, Blue, affirm. Foxtrot, Blue. Cool for Foxtrot. Foxtrot, Blue, your takeoff time is 0727.35. Your hack time is 0730.05.
confirm 072735 takeoff and hack 073005.
Le Bleu, full start flight, affirm. Golf flight, Le Bleu.
Le Bleu Golf flight, go ahead.
Your takeoff time is 0728. 0728.35. Your hack time is 0731.05.
Copy, Golf flight has roll time 0728.35, hack time 0731.05.
Your takeoff runway is 21 right, and Foxtrot flight, your takeoff runway is 21 left.
Alpha flight is 8 seconds to take off. Golf flight 21 right.
Bravo flight, Le Bleu.
Bravo flight, go ahead.
Bravo flight, your takeoff time is 0729.50. Your hack time is 0736.50.
2950 in the hour for takeoff, 6050 in the hour for hack time.
Sorry, can you repeat that again?
Takeoff 29950 in the hour, hack time 36 minutes 50 in the hour.
Affirm. Charlie flight, okay. Your takeoff time is 073900. Your hack time is 074400.
Charlie flight, loud and clear, copy. And fix. And school partner, just to get us up. 3, 2, 1. Meters in.
Fuel's up.
And just drop back to mill. 3-3. Kilo to Leveler.
6 minutes to take off.
6 minutes to take off.
Kilo flight.
So I intend to taxi at 4 minutes to take off at the latest.
Everything to
Permission or not.
So can you just repeat the instructions for us real quick?
Kilo flight, your takeoff time is 072055. Oh, you only missed your takeoff time. Your hack time is 072355.
They done goof, boys.
taxiing and holding short, runway 08. How's the flight copies? Sorry, Libya copy.
Full rolling.
The right way, RT.
taxi to runway 08, hold short.
Bravo taxiing behind our flight.
MPR up.
2 MBR. To rotate.
Lead gear up.
Trigger up.
Lead left orbit.
Check flaps up.
Lead flaps up.
Bravo full light rolling.
Lead left turn onto one heading 150 for waypoint 1.
Lead, when you're ready, talk us through hat, turn 1.
Copy. Turn 1. Heading is 187. We have a very light wind from the east, a beam, essentially no drift angle, and again on a beam, so no impact on airspeed, so 240 knots. So 240 knots, 187 degrees.
Okay.
Coast flight hacked and on the route.
ETA to hack.
This is Echo 2, Echo 1 just crashed in the sea. Continue.
Oxide, how hard is it?
ER cap. People are gonna crash.
Maybe I could be a view crash as well.
Yep.
2 minutes to hack.
I didn't break my gear this time, so.
Yay.
This is Echo, over.
We're going to be the turn point before the hack.
Leclerc, it's Ali. I had a big spike crash.
Might be a little bit early.
I'm just going to launch and see if I can catch up.
For that.
Roger, fine.
Alright, so starting a slow turn now towards 187. Actually, we'll fly 188.
Roger.
Seconds to hack. Seconds to hack. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Cap is hacked.
On time.
Alright, let's see how we do.
Heading 188, speed 240 knots.
We've really only got, we're at max drift, aren't we? A beam,
yeah.
So
yeah.
max drift is only 1 knot?
Yeah, 1 degree.
Oh, sorry, 1 degree. Okay.
Yeah, it's actually more like half a degree. So we can take our choice between flying 187, 188, and to be honest, I'm visual with the next waypoint.
Roger, is it a small variation simply because 10 knots isn't very high wind speed?
Yeah, in essence.
Roger. Artie, I think you've got your flaps on takeoff.
Thank you, camera flight, hack. Quite impressed I could get up to 240 knots with my flaps down.
Wondering how you're doing that. It's still down. Okay, what are we looking for? We're looking for a mast.
Not at the first waypoint. The first waypoint is just the point of the promontory sticking out towards us. You can in fact see on the horizon the second waypoint, which is if you look slightly to our right, you'll see there's a high peak sticking up by itself there. The second waypoint mast is on that peak.
Hold on. I'm swapping to right side because this kneeboard's getting right in my way.
Yeah. You'll find as we progress between waypoints 2 and 3 and 3 and 4 that the terrain may force you into trail.
Copy.
You can move that kneeboard around, Cap.
Yeah, I guess.
And that's the new thing, you can drag it wherever you want, or resize it.
The only problem is I'm so used to having it on the right, it looks weird anywhere else for me.
There are no real landmarks out here to do any minute mark checks on this leg, so our first check on time will actually be at the waypoint.
Yeah, that's literally 9-minute mark is pretty much where the land starts, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, that is hack +5.
Copy.
4 more minutes of ocean to go.
Hat check for waypoint 2. The speed should be 240 knots. We will adapt that as necessary. Heading 198. Again, the wind conditions are essentially the same. We've got a maximum 1 degree of drift abeam. So we will fly somewhere between 198 and 199.
When we get to this mast, we are turning heading 197.
Should reach that in minute mark 7:10. You're +500 now.
Getting close to that water Cap on those dips, and you're not going to have to worry about it.
Oh, you gave me the scares there.
See, you could get close a couple times. Whoa!
Getting rid of that radar signature.
Yeah, I mean, the big test for us is that our GCI should not know where we are. He should not be able to see us on his radar. If he can, then so can the bad guys. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Turning 198. We are on time.
How's the error?
Say again, Cam.
How big is the error?
We're on time. 0 error.
0 error, boys! We are the fucking dream team, alpha team, dream team. 0 error. 0 goddamn error. See if we can be the only team to get bombs on target on the actual second. Yes, I do get a bit excited.
Because my flaps are down, I'm having to put MPR back on.
Note we are 220 knots.
Copy. It's not as bad as it sounds because we're actually up at 1,000 feet. So our IAS is drifting away from our ground speed. So our ground speed is high.
Still with us, RC?
Yep, right behind you on the left.
Okay, master arm on, air to ground. Done it already, I don't know why I'm checking.
I turned my master arm off so I didn't make any mistakes on takeoffs.
Yeah.
Hack plus,
Easiest one.
hack plus 12, 1 minute to go.
Negative. 1 minute 40 to go.
My little brain's got to figure that out.
Waypoint time is 12 minutes 50. Currently at 11 minutes 20. Visual with the waypoint tower.
You're definitely right, I just don't understand why, so I'm going to keep thinking about it.
Going to take this small saddle in front of us rather than flying directly over the highest ground.
Lucky you're leading, I'd have us a minute out already.
Yeah, I'm definitely suffering though from the flaps being down.
Oh, you'll just have to burn your engine out.
Yeah, I've got MPR on.
Okay, here we go. Get ready for the time check.
30 minutes to time
Second.
due on waypoint. 50 seconds, sorry.
What was the hat for the last turn?
240 knots, heading 178. We're going to fly the 178 in essence, when corrections minor. We're actually going to go through this saddle in front of us.
Copy.
by this valley.
Got to watch for the speed increases.
Okay, marked 45 seconds fast.
Copy, we'll bring the speed down.
Next target hack is 1820 for waypoint 3.
Okay, you come and shoot past me. I'll go slow.
IP is visible in front of us.
You still behind me?
I can't see you, I think I'm in front of you.
I'm right behind RE.
Roger, I'll see both of you.
Yeah, I see you on the right.
Hat for the next turn. Hat for the next turn.
Right, this is the IP coming up, so we will be taking a sharp turn onto approximately 234, but down into the valley. We will be following the valley rather than flying a specific heading. Just follow the valley.
2. Final master armor checks. Everything ready? Right, don't lose sight of him here, Rossi. I have fucking lost him. Where did he go, Elsie?
Left, and he's approaching the mast.
I see him.
20 seconds drive, Bay.
Okay, what's the error?
2's got 180, 360 knots, mark. Zero plus 30.
3 seconds late.
I blew off.
Down into the valley.
I can live with 3. Okay, we're doing sharp right here, RC. Keep low.
You're flying down the valley. Speed should be 300.
Max power.
I will have to report that as a near miss.
MPR retrim.
What's our time on that?
You're plus 2336.
We should be at 24 something.
2425, yes.
So the tall mast now becomes visible.
Yeah, pull up point spotted.
Bombs armed. Ready to kick. Fuck up. Pops up. Right, we are all going to fly just to the right of the tall mast.
Right, we're relying on you here because I've got no eyes on the base. Speed is slow, speed is slow.
Yeah, okay, you concentrate on getting your speed and altitude correct now. Don't mind about me, because I'm incapacitated by the flaps, of course. So get your speed right, get your altitude correct, 200. So 300 knots, 200 feet on radar altitude, or 280 feet on barrow altitude.
Tally runway, choosing my point.
Right, Cap, are you gonna, if you want to fly for the intersection,
yep.
You see the control tower dead center of the run of airport buildings.
Yep.
You want to skim just the very right side of that tower.
True.
That'll take you right inside RC. The second set of trees will take you to the other runway intersection, which is the other prime target.
To the left of the tower?
To the right of the tower.
Bombs away! Evasive, yes!
Weave.
Egyptians, you suck!
Base heading is 280, but weave.
Yes, sir. AAA coming in.
They're not very friendly, are they?
Not really. Cap 280 and safe, I think.
Master, the oil tank at the upper doors now, just increase the speed now. Remember, for level bombing, it's 380 to 390 barrel. You want to be 200 over the edge.
Direct hit for me and RT. How do you do, RC?
Yeah, I gotta go back around. I'm gonna drop.
No, negative. Do not go back around. Egress.
Milsim mission. Dump the stores.
Okay. Then I'll dump.
Get your MPR and try and catch us up.
This is a single pass attack. Go back in theory, you'll be captured.
Flight, bombs on target, one time.
Report the bombs in.
Alpha flight, bombs on target on time. The worm. Come.
flight, a few bombs on target, reasonably on time.
294 from the coast. Into flight, bombs on target, on time.
Well done, boys.
Somebody's going down.
Our flight is complete. We're roughly on time.
Nearly the coast, RT.
Yeah, the next hatch point. You're to my 9 o'clock.
I don't know. I just went full blast.
No, you're good. You're good. RC, you with us?
Nope. I'm heading towards the coast though.
Okay, that's fine.
Watching an F5 get shot out of the sky.
Right, we're heading for the tip of this bit of land, which is on my nose, about on your 1 o'clock cap.
Visual.
Hat check for this. Our heading is 007. That's 008, but allowing 1 degree of wind drift. Speed is nominally 300 knots. The return leg. I'm making 250. I'm not going to make 300. But the time doesn't matter on the return leg.
Roger.
Provided we got the runway, they won't be chasing us.
Do you have visual on me, by the way?
Yeah, visual. You are at my 11 o'clock. RT turning 008.
Cap turning.
Sorry, 007.
Tally. Yeah, I've got you. I'm going to rejoin. Just put MBR on and go full whack from now on, RT.
Yeah, I am.
Intercept the coast of 280, RC, and then just head 008 and you'll catch up at full power.
Charlie flight, bombs away, next filling.
Oh, they were a bit late, RT, they were a bit late.
Yeah, they're a bit, aren't they?
Fighters will get them.
Safety.
Fighters will get them. What you want to do in the creation for the ones from now on, RT, is if they're late by a minute, the fighters will be there and shoot them down, and that'll punish them.
Yeah, that will be the case. As I say, it gets harder. The next mission we will also have cap to defend against. So we'll be flying with fighter escort.
How you doing back there? 3, only visual?
I'm on the coast now. I don't know if you guys are in front or behind me.
Oh, we're way behind. We're 3 minutes into the sea.
Well, I'm headed 008 right now, so...
Roger. As long as you're full power, you'll catch us up.
Just about see somebody at our 1 o'clock as well, the far distance. He's probably about 8-9 miles away.
There shouldn't be anyone on their own, so I don't know why he's there.
I'm with some F5s, I think, yeah.
Blur Golf Flight egressing
Target's hit by at least 2 aircraft. The blue copies. Foxtrot flight level. Foxtrot flight. Yeah, Foxtrot flight, a successful attack on the...
Stores release guard, that's what I forgot.
That'll do it.
Sorry, can you repeat that again? It's a killer, that one.
There's a successful attack by us on the runways at Almanado, on the route home now.
I'm sure if you're in the plane you can feel it, but not when you're not.
The blue Charlie flight. Charlie flight, the blue. Charlie flight, successful attack on Razal. 2 aircraft lost. Egressing. Charlie flight, the blue, copies.
Bravo Juliet flight.
Juliet flight, the blue.
3 starting aircraft all survived. 2 dropped bombs on targets, all undamaged.
Juliet flight, the blue, copies.
LeBlanc from Echo Lead.
Echo?
There's an island approximately 50 miles ahead. Is it friendly? Because I'm not going to go home.
Echo Lead. The blue, I can't see on my radar. You are flying too low. There's no way of seeing your radar. So I can't really tell if it's friendly or not.
Isn't it funny that the flights with the gaming pilots
a little bit higher, like to Angels 05 or higher a little bit. I might see you and go if it's friendly.
Yeah.
Finally worked out how to get rid of the sidewinders.
I just dumped them with
you can have me sandwich.
Emergency jettison.
Yeah, I had the selector switch still on bomb.
Oh.
I was saying, isn't it funny that the virtual gaming...
Bravo Juliet flight.
I'll give up. Okay.
Just flight the blue.
Bravo Juliet flight approaching minute.
We can hear you.
Permission to climb at that point. Is it friendly?
Just flight stand.
Should be able to get faster now. You got NPR on?
Yeah, it's as fast as you want to go.
Fuck it.
Yeah, it shows anyone can make a rookie mistake like leaving your flaps down.
I was just saying, value viewers, isn't it funny that the flights with the game... Oh, I'll give up.
Sorry, RC.
No. I'm behind a couple of, behind an F5. And that's about it. I don't see you guys anywhere.
We're at minute marker 29 on the kneeboard.
Yeah, where am I?
I don't know, that's, you've got to do your TOTs, God knows.
I follow the leader. Let's see. Minute marker 25. Let's see. We should be right around the same spot. You guys might actually be behind me.
What's your speed of travel?
What's my speed?
Yeah.
325.
Wow, you're going.
I would guess you're ahead of us somewhere.
Yeah, I'm at 0.50 Mach.
Oh, is this 300 knots? Oh, it's 300 knots. I didn't realise it's 300 knots.
Leg.
Roger.
Yeah, so I'd guess we're probably around about 30.
Roger. Yeah, pretty much level with Oman off our starboard.
Yeah.
That's right, Red. That's right.
Good work, Echo 3, minute mark 38 on time.
They were at 38 already. Can you believe that shit?
Okay, we're blue copies.
I guess we'll be the last down, Artie.
We're supposed to be sort of in the middle somewhere. But yeah, I mean we're flying on that, flying slow.
They're probably all mill powering back, to be honest, 500 knots.
Yeah, I mean, I see the other 101s about 2 miles to my 10 o'clock.
We're way behind. We should be, according to the clock, we should be hitting coast. We're nowhere near it.
Yeah, well, we're travelling, what, 50 knots below planned speed.
Yep, tally the other boys.
Yeah, I mean, they should be a minute behind us. In practice, they're about a minute and a half, 2 minutes in front of us.
Roger, all good.
Well, Blur, Golf Flight 2 ship, 30 seconds late to 38.
Okay, we are left of track. I'm making a visual correction now.
Is it the right of that island?
Waypoint is the right edge of that island, yeah.
Roger. So we should be hitting that at 34, and we are now pack plus 35, so we're about 2 minutes behind.
Yeah.
Do you want to let ATC know?
I think we're okay. We'll let them know when we're a bit nearer. We'll just fly a bit of an approach discipline with the other flights. As we say, time on target, or time does not matter on the return leg.
Roger.
Kind of expect people to have lost a wing or something, or just be careless and leave their flaps down.
I'm looking forward to seeing our damage.
That's the waypoint turning to 017.
Roger, we're 1 minute and 25 seconds behind.
It's not bad. Alpha Flight Le Bleu. We are at approaching, well, just past our next to last waypoint. We are slow because we've got an aircraft malfunction. We are therefore behind Alpha Flight by about 2 minutes. Bravo Flight by about 2 minutes. Bravo Flight will be in first.
Foxtrot Flight. We are initials for Bandar Abbas. Are you handling London or are we doing that on a different channel?
Well, technically I'm not, because well, I actually can stand by.
He can't see you on the radar, I don't think. Oh, there you go.
No, we won't see him. Someone up high at our 10 o'clock. Get some way off.
Embarrassing for them.
I don't know if this is just a VR thing,
Yeah, Daddy.
but long distances, Foxtrot targets now appear wide, so you can see him a long way off. I don't know if
we're just at the
Yeah, they've changed it again.
west side of the runways, so we're just going to head down and enter a pattern and see if we can see anything.
Right, go ahead.
Okay, gaggle of aircraft.
Landing where we...
Go ahead.
We're landing where we started, right?
Yeah, on the right runway.
Yeah, runway 08.
Gaggle of planes on the tail.
Magic picture object single group.
East of Bullseye, 50 miles, Angels 33, tracking northwest.
Pack plus 39.
West Blue Golf 1 passing 43-minute mark at 43 minutes and 15 seconds.
We'll be on about 2 minutes left.
You're on the wrong channel. Go to grounding sidewinder.
I'll be landing fast because I'm stuck on the half flaps. I can't get them fully down.
Copy.
So I'll be slightly fast. Not that fast is often a term you apply to a 101.
Oh, really?
You start landing at 80 then.
It's teasing you, Artie.
This feels very like flying that Gazelle the other night. I think the Gazelle was faster. Yeah, 2 minutes 30 behind time.
Oh yeah. Just having some fun, doing some aerobatics. Oh, Artie, I forgot to say, the virtual Blue Angels have asked me to go and fly with them. Like, just not full time, but just as a,
John, we're just taking 2-1 left, that's what to go from. Roger. That's great.
Flight, last waypoint on time, entering covered area traffic from southwest. Force turning final, lift.
Oh, hi, Whistler. Two wheels down.
Three wheels down, taxi to parking.
And I am down.
hold on. Not down in a field, I hope.
No, down on the runway. Fine. Safe.
Same verb.
Foxtrot flight is in the break or in the pattern for landing 2 on left at Bandarabas. We have another aeroplane at 9 o'clock, about 3 miles away.
Echo 3 is
Getting an F5.
Place higher than I'm not into the pattern yet. 2,000 feet.
Make a nice smooth landing and I'll land in formation. We're nearly here, I'll see.
I think I see you up there.
A half mile off the port, off the coast.
Well, I might see the others and see. Oh no, I might see the other 101. See specks up there.
Yes, he is. Everyone likes a tasty beverage. Roger, Bren, welcome.
One ship as far as I'm aware. Coast around turning towards Bandar Abbas. Range 23 miles. Inchals 1.5. Yeah, it's an F5 at 11 o'clock.
High or low?
Slightly high.
Have to trust your RT eyes.
Just saw the other 101s out here somewhere.
Yeah,
wheels down. Got 2 on finals and 1 in the break.
They were just ahead of us.
Roger, I've got someone else at their initial 2-1. Right. Alpha 1, Alpha 2 on 2-1 on approach. That traffic drops its initial 2-1 right.
In your flight, you just pop up on my radar screen. I'm seeing your merge to the single hostile.
Oh, someone's got merged.
Careless. This is Juliet. We had engagement at about the 58-minute mark.
Wow.
Kingston, the hostile at your nose, 2 miles away. Angel 02.
I see you guys now.
Alpha 1 initials.
Ground flight downwind for yep, 08.
Alpha 1 on break.
Nothing happened. Yeah, I just went down and partialed. Trying to get my trim sorted, it's all out of whack.
Gear down.
Echo 3 turning final 2-1 right at Bandar Abbas. When your flight lost you again on my radar.
This is India flight climbing through Angels 13. We have splashed 1 MiG-19. We have lost 2 pilots.
Oops, B fingers.
Yeah, sorry, couldn't tell you before that. I couldn't just see them. You were invisible.
Alpha 1 turning final.
All the Israelis didn't lose any.
Runway 08.
Juliet flight.
Juliet flight.
You guys have one in front of you.
Juliet flight, 1 aircraft has landed on small islands, 2 inbound for Bandar Abbas, 1 high, 1 low.
Copies.
The Blue, so Kilo did some damage to El Dafra, at least 1 taxiway, maybe some hangars. We didn't really stick around to find out. We're on our way back now.
Copies.
India flight, LeBlanc.
India flight.
Yeah, just let you know, we're south of Casham, mate, Angel 17.
Still can't see you.
Lead run long so I don't bash into you on the runway.
Taking left hand side.
That'll be why I'm getting squeezed out.
Runway's clear. Whoa, uh-oh.
Oh, come on, Artie. He's got it. He's got it. You got it, Artie. Come on, you got it. We were just showing off. That was all I see.
Juliet flight, advise active runway.
Break.
Juliet flight, what, stand by.
Woot.
Active runway 21 left.
21 left,
Alpha 1 clear of runway.
Clear runway. Are we parking here with these boys, Artie? Or what are we doing?
I'm right with these guys.
I'm just following you.
Okay, we'll just park in.
Okay.
1 Alpha Flight is down and staying. Golf 1, downwind runway 21 right for full stop.
To control full stop? That's not.
Nope. I didn't stop any bombs, but I did fly over.
Because also he's training
fly
one.
over all that stuff.
Well done, we're proud of you. You scared them.
Unit 4, turning finals.
Debrief, RT Alpha Flight.
Alpha Flight flew to the target essentially on time. Bombs on the runway and a few on the pan area. One aircraft failed to drop its bombs. Got back home safely. The run looks a bit of a mess.
Well done, Alpha. Chuff. Really good flight by my guys. Great work. And who's Bravo? Bravo, whoever you are, off you go.
Yeah, and Cap, thank you. It was my literally first flight in C101, literally the first Dead Reckoning, and literally first time on target. All I did just watch some guys' tutorial videos and got there, I think, badly, but within like 20 seconds.
Well done.
And on point and deployed weapons, so designated target, not sure about BDA, and got home and on time, landed safely. So.
Well done. Natural leader, Dragon. Well done. And did you...
Oh, I'm just drunk because it's Thursday.
He's been fucking on the
Happy
vodka.
birthday.
Happy birthday. And how many people got back out of your group?
Everybody's accounted.
Full house. Perfect flight. Well done. Group Charlie, send.
Birthday present.
Mike, you? Or?
We lost 2 on the bombing run due to our own bombs and landed with 3 safely. We did hit the runway though.
Well done. Well done.
I survived.
Well done for hitting the runway. Okay, you can have some upset Israeli families. Okay, Echo.
Hey, well, I had a bit of a problem on the way down. When I changed frequency in the SRS, my joystick stopped working for leader. So we were on time, on track, running really well, and I flew in the ground with a nice rate of descent of about 50 feet a minute. However, I got airborne again and chased the boys, and I met them at the IP.
Well done.
And I think we all got some bombs on target. Time-wise, mine might not be too good, so I was probably doing about 150 knots fast. But yeah, we got damage on the target, and we were just, we were round about there on time.
Good. Well done, boys. Who didn't make it back out of your however many?
Me, because unfortunately I used so much reheat.
Oh,
Get
yeah.
down there. No fuel left.
It's going to happen. All right, we'll have to scratch that airframe off. Did the rest make it back?
I didn't make it back, but I had a problem with fuel tank.
Roger. It's a dangerous mission.
Space Medi back.
Space Medi. As long as we've got Chopstick as Space Pick. Okay, half 50%. Well done, guys. And you got the thing bombed, which works. Next group. I don't know. I haven't got the group thing open, so I don't know who's who.
Foxtrot. The 4 of us made it to the target pretty much within 20 seconds. I think we were slightly fast or ahead of time, but we got there. There was a technical issue. One member didn't get their bombs off, but the rest of us got bombs on target, and we all made it back.
Well done. Good job. Nothing else to say. Next group.
So that was Golf Flight. That was me, Starscream, Tail, and Shady. We got, I think it was pretty uneventful until the run-in when Tail had an unfortunate lag spike about 200 feet from the ground and ended up ploughing a field. I think Starscream flew into his own bombs on delivery, but me and Shady managed to drop bombs on the target. I hit the runway and he hit some shelters, some like aircraft shelters.
Roger. How many survived
And
out
we
of your
escaped.
group?
2.
2. And what was your time on target on getting back? As in, how much delta when you got back?
I think we were on time by the time we landed. I think when we hit the target, we were probably maximum 30 seconds either way.
Well done. I mean, these hard missions are going to get harder, so the better time on target you do now, the easier it's going to get. Because in terms of avoiding MiG flights and stuff like that, the more accurate we can fly, the easier the campaign will be for you. Next group, send.
Okay, so that was mine, Dev, Bull, and Seahorse's flight. Took off first, as instructed to do so. Flew all the way. Stayed within 2 or 3 seconds all the way.
Well done.
Got onto target. We were slightly early, but only by about 5 seconds, I think. I screwed up my own approach by worrying about everyone else. So I rather than hitting the taxiway as desired, I hit the runway instead. I did manage to hit it though. We all managed to hit targets, so we did that. Achieved. That was good. We lost Bull to ground fire on the egress.
Yeah.
Self, Seahorse, and Dev made it pretty much all the way home, where we were jumped by a MiG-19 just off the coast of Tumb Island, where he pilot sniped Seahorse, and then I fired a Fox 2 up his arse. We then turned around, headed back home. I had an in real life emergency, so I had to dart away, so I didn't get to land, leaving Dev. So I don't know what time Dev managed to land.
Well, he's not talking. So, okay, guys. Well done.
I think it was
I was muted. I think I was a little late just because of the interception by the MiG.
Fair enough. Yeah, if you get intercepted, you have to change the plans, don't you? It's a cheeky little MiG, guys. I mean, we did plan it so that if everyone was perfectly on time, they shouldn't have been able to get with us. But it's just not that easy to plan. So something went slightly awry. Never mind. That's how it goes. All right. Unfortunate, guys, but that's the way it goes. Any other groups I've missed?
Yes,
Juliet, Bendy.
Yeah, Bendy and Hosina's flights.
Bendy.
Yes, so I took off with a complement of 3. I think Elo caught us up in the end. I think he started off on the wrong flight. We managed to hit the target. 1 and 2 hit the target. No damage going over the target. 4 was unable. And 3, I'm not sure if 3 hit the target or not.
Bombs on target.
So we have, I'm at Bandar Abbas. We had an engagement as we were coming back, and my number 2, I believe, splashed one target and landed on a small island. And I'm not sure where my number 4 landed, actually.
Roger. I landed on the island. I took down a MiG-19, ran out of gas, but I
don't know.
Get the airframe down on them.
That's the yellow we know. We'll get that back on a pack ship. What's your TOT error of them dropping the bombs?
0, I believe, or within a couple of seconds.
0 TOT, boys. Even we couldn't manage that with Artie in control, right? Well done. I have to make
Yellow and Kelsey landed on Tum Island.
Roger, we'll come and pick you up. We consider the island's neutral, basically, so we'll come and grab you. I mean, they're not really in the real war, so whatever. Last group?
Kilo.
Okay, so we took off. The first waypoints were fine, just following them along the coastline. It was when it got to the overland bit, I kind of struggled a little bit following the waypoints. We ended up drifting a bit south of Al Dafra, so we had to come back up north. We did make it to the target. We did our run-in. I think a couple of us got bombs up, but the rest of us, bombs just didn't really work. And we're currently still making our way back. We're at 1,000 feet making our way back.
I tell you what, at least you managed to find the target, because even that's not actually that easy. There's no radio, there's no way of finding that. So well done for somehow backtracking and finding that. And that's it. Not much else to say, really, guys. Well done for at least making it to target. All groups found the target, whether they got shot down or not. They all found the target, and most people got bombs off. There were some dogfights on the way back, but that's war. That is our first proper Milsim campaign day with real pilots. Doesn't really get much better than that, if I'm honest. Any final thoughts before we go away?
Great mission.
Yeah, thanks guys for making that.
A lot of effort goes into that. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
I have to take our hats off to Ali, Artie, and Bendy. To be honest, I mean, all I did was plonk a few things on the map.
Roger. All right. Well, good well done, guys. Get to work on the next one, and we'll see you next time. See everyone later.
Copy that.
See you,
Later.
Straight up.
Later.
Thanks, everyone.